Welcome to a new video with our home in the forest. I am Caroline and I'm living in Portugal on our forest farm already for a year. We are in central Portugal, as I just learned, not in the north of Portugal as I always claim, but it feels quite northern. We are in the north of the Serra Estrela mountains, so maybe that is more correct. Thanks for pointing that out to one of my subscribers. Today I'm here under our old and crooked peach tree to give you one message. You are not killing your fruit trees. I felt pretty intimidated by these advices online of most, how do we say, garden influencers claiming that we are killing our fruit trees in the way we are planting them, in the way we are pruning them. And I'm not saying they're incorrect, but when I came here, a lot of my trees did not look great, not Instagram worthy, or not super pretty. We are crooked. We are growing wherever. We are not growing up straight. We are, I don't know how old we are, but they're thriving and they gave us fruit last year. So I am here to tell you today, you are not killing your fruit trees.
I am getting way too excited about pruning. I have been watching last night a few channels that are pruning their fruit trees in the backyard, like super small, and it's super exciting. Today I'm gonna do this one. I think this will be a heavy cut because it's reaching up to the sky because it didn't have light. Now it will have more light, so I'm looking for these branches that are going outwards. And these I want to keep, and the ones that are only having leaves on the top, we will. This tree gets a very dramatic haircut because it didn't have any light exposure. All the branches were reaching up to the sky. So I have branches more than 2 meters long before they have any leaves. So we are freeing up the ground, and I'm just remaining with the branches reaching outwards so the inside of the tree has full sun exposure, and hopefully next year we have a bit more growth in the middle of the tree that is not 3 meters high, because then we can also not harvest any olives. The poor tree looks really sad right now. I still need to cut this one long branch, but yeah, I think that's what you need to do. This tree is a perfect example of how sun exposure changes the shape of the tree, because he's reaching towards the sunlight. And now, as we cut some other trees around here, this tree will have more sunlight and we can reassess its growth in autumn. We will probably not have any harvest on this tree this year, but that's fine. We are reshaping the tree to be more healthy the next years.
Pruning your trees might be intimidating at first. And I have been doing that much research because exactly that is true. I was intimidated by it and I had to learn about it. What should I chop off? Can I just chop it off? How does it impact fruit production and all these things? And just recently, the last 2 weeks or so, I got into these two channels that are taking it to somewhat an extreme with pruning their fruit trees. The cottage peach, she is pruning her trees to a dwarf size to really stay small in her backyard, to have more small trees in a limited space. And the millennial gardener who's even trellising his fig and apple trees to fit into his garden path. So I got to be thinking, is it really that restrictive? Do I have to follow a scheme? And I did understand, and also like the cottage peach, like she's saying, it's it's more an art form than it is a science. So you want to follow some scientific knowledge, as in not to cut when it's raining tomorrow because it might encourage fungus growth. You want to have somewhat light and air exposure to your tree. Like if it is too crowded, that's the whole point of pruning. But that's basically it. It's also it's kind of, you can also call it training your trees. What do I want to achieve? Do I want to have a small tree that is easy to reach? I think that's one of a modern approach to it, rather than like the biggest harvest. What's the purpose of a big harvest when I have to can, when I don't even know what to do with all the fruit, and if I have such a hard time picking the fruit? So I noticed last week as well, the olive trees like these that are easy to reach, they are also easier to maintain and to handle. I can cut them and prune them much better, as if I need to climb up there or I need a ladder and need to move that ladder around. It takes me much longer, and that will be the same when we need to harvest. You will not know how your tree looks at the end, because you will not say, oh, I need to cut this. No, we go first with what needs to go, what's not good anymore, and then I reassess the tree. Like, I want outgrowing low branches, so I see which ones I want to maintain and which are in the way for this branch to grow, to catch light, to become bigger. If there is a second one in the exact same spot, I might want to trim off one of them. Or when there's something above, when there's something crossing, I want to get rid of anything that might be in the way, that might harm the growth. With some of the trees we have here, they are so grown the last years, because there was no pruning happening, that they just get a really, really good haircut, because they were just reaching for the light, and there are some leaves on top. But here, empty, 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 empty. Why actually keep this? Oh, there's some leaves. So when I quote the Peach Cottage in saying pruning is more an art form than it is science, I totally agree in that. Maybe it means be more brave, trust yourself, train the fruit trees as you need them in your backyard or in your land. And it can also mean that even two professional arborists will prune your tree differently. They might not agree to chop off this exact branch, which doesn't make it right or wrong, because your purpose can be different, your vision for this tree to grow can be different. I think what's important, chickens. So if you keep the health of the tree in mind, also when we work, I was confused in the beginning between a single lead approach and an open center. And I think I understood, as long as you're keeping the ratio in mind. What I mean with ratio and why people might recommend a single lead approach is when the branches that are growing new are becoming thicker or the same thickness as the lead, the chances are higher that this arm, this branch, will break off, and or you might have a split in the middle of the tree. I have been seeing that when I came with my peach trees. There's one peach tree that looks horrible. There was so much breaking off. He's also there in the middle of wind exposure and everything. So I think I was quite successful with the new growth I encouraged there. So I would say even over the years, if you make a small mistake, usually the trees are there to survive. They will make up for it. If you cut off too much, what happens is they encourage too much regrowth. If something breaks off, they are encouraging more regrowth. So it might just affect your fruit production that year, but it can be also just a learning opportunity. I don't know enough, but I have seen a lot of damaged trees around here in our land because we're only here for a year, and they have almost always recovered. I don't have any dead tree that is not somehow surviving. So I would say it's really hard to kill your trees. So even if you do something wrong, you will learn next year and you will adopt your approach. But if you never start, you don't have that learning opportunity. I know everybody is telling you to just follow their method and that you might be killing your fruit trees or that you are definitely killing your fruit trees. But look at this example. We bought this land a bit more than a year ago and found a lot of old fruit trees not taken care of, broken branches, looking quite bad, but they carried fruit the next summer. So my educated guess is it's really hard to kill a fruit tree. They will come back. They are here to survive. They will produce new shoots. You might have a setback if you're pruning back too much. You might have a little less fruit next year if you're cutting off too much. But if it's necessary for your circumstances, for your size of the garden, do it. They will come back. They are here to survive. Let's look at this example. So she was like this. You see here the old bark. It's a little bit covered in something. It's not moss. And you see all the fresh growth. I have only been doing a little bit of repair, cutting off here and there where it was really bad and broken. But other than that, I just let her because I really thought she would die. And look at her this year. She will thrive. She will have a lot of fruit. She produced a lot of flowers and even a new central lead that we can now shape into an open center in the next autumn or spring. We can still decide which arms, which branches are maybe not most beneficent for her. And of course, if the tree is very crowded, we can help preventing diseases with having enough airflow and enough light touching all your branches. So most of the advice is good, but there's no reason to be scared that you kill them. You are not killing your fruit trees. They will do fine. They will survive. Just do what you like to do. Maybe try it out, see how it goes next year, how your trees respond, and have fun with it. Thank you guys for watching. Welcome to the channel if you're new here. Consider subscribing. This would help us out a lot. Leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. Even if you feel like you want to educate me, let me know. We are very open to learn new things, and we are very grateful for this little community that we already built. Bye!